not the man.
You're not in the office now.
That's all about.
No,
Oh, good.
I'm an
It's so hot. I don't need to be sweating. Always cold, but today's different, huh? Always cold.
Ask her what she really thinks.
You got a gun? Just give me a gun. All right, gang, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right, how many of you are cold?
cold.
In a room?
It's hot.
How many of you are hot?
Hot here.
Yeah,
How
see?
many of you like it the way it is?
Yes.
Get
Those
up.
are the winners.
Get
There you
up,
go.
get up,
Those are the winners.
get up.
I'm not sure you made any progress on that one, Ted.
We're thinking about getting a meteorologist out here for meetings. It's crazy here, you know?
Good.
But thank you all for coming again. This is going to be the last official meeting for the year.
Yay!
The party's over, baby. Next Thursday is what?
Party.
Yes, it's the White Elephant.
I was gonna say the 14th.
We expect you all to be here. You got to spend $25 and buy a gift.
Buy a nice gift.
Buy a nice gift.
Will I get more makeup?
Does $25 get you lap dance? I don't think so.
I make a poll here. You gonna dance?
But it's but stay with me. It's a lot of fun. It takes about an hour to do it. If you haven't done it, we'll explain it to you next Thursday. Okay. All right. Go, Masako, please go.
Let us interrupt you.
But it's lots and lots of fun, and it's a gift of $25 or more. If you want to buy a really expensive gift, knock yourself out. Okay. But lots and lots of fun. Wrap it up or put it in the bag so you can't see it. Okay. When you go up and pick up your gift. Okay. What else we got here? How about that UNLV thing, huh?
Crazy.
I mean, you think this stuff doesn't happen to us, right? No, it does. Right? So they said he was a 60-year-old professor who interviewed at the company at UNLV
Just didn't get the
3
job.
years ago, and I guess he didn't get the job. So, I mean, I just saw that real quick on the news when I left my office. So, I don't know. People
I
are
saw
nuts.
he had a condo in Henderson that they had blocked off all of the stuff. Just
Did you represent him as a buyer? Wow.
He's been there for 3 years.
Who knew? Look at Karen's on top of shit. She's looking for a deal here. That a girl.
So that means
That a
that
girl.
when you don't get your way, you throw a little hissy fit. And
Who knows? I'm sure the guy had some issues other than not getting the job here, so God forbid. But hopefully none of us were affected by that, right? Thank God. So that's out of our way. A couple of things before we get to some other good stuff. The party is a week from tomorrow. I think there's 20 or so spots left. It's free. Please come. It's a lot of fun. Other than your $11 that goes to the Kathy Little Kenpo Karate Scholarship Fund. How cool is that? Right? How cool is that? Yep. So Shirley's heading it up with Suzanne, and it's actually going through the company. It's going through the company's charity arm called One Cares. So we might send this out to all 400 Realty One groups. And we might be able to get a couple of bucks out of this for it,
So I don't know if people know about Kathy aside from being.
Tell 'em.
So aside from Kathy being one of our esteemed longtime agents with Realty One Group, she also, I think it was an 8th degree black belt. Wow. One of the highest designations in the nation, and she's really well known throughout the world actually. So the scholarship is going to be for children that have participated in her dojo and for one reason or another are no longer able to afford to attend those classes for the year. So the scholarship, our goal is to at least get one child to be able to continue their education in that martial arts field. And it's going to be in honor of her, part of her legacy, because it's something she strongly believed in and was so good at. So it's just a way of honoring her. I'm sure a lot of you know her and love her. No one ever had a bad thing to say about her. She just raised, just not only as an agent, but as a human being, what a great person she was. And it was so unexpected, and we're so heartbroken. But we do want to share that legacy and hopefully get maybe not one child, but maybe more children that are that have been participating and no longer, because of economic times, they're not able to continue with that. So there's going to be, Janet's working on a link for that, so we'll share that with all of you. It's gonna be, the $11 is gonna be donated to that fund, and if anyone wants to contribute more, like just 1 month is over $100 for a child to participate. So by the end of the year, I don't have the numbers, I'm sorry, Jana has the numbers, but it's like $2,000 by the end of the year for that education. So hopefully, you know, if you cared for her, or if you just want to assist a child in participating in that,
Tax
we'll share
write-offs,
the link.
guys, come on.
Yeah.
Let a girl
I mean,
do
it's
it.
just a
All right,
minimal
it is,
amount.
yeah.
The more people that pull together, you know, lots of hands make easy work, so we reach out to you to do that, but I have more.
I'm sure you do. And once this takes off through Realty One Group, through the One Cares charity, I don't know what it's gonna be, but Kuba's gonna make a substantial donation. He's really good at this stuff. We've had agents get sick, and he's been out for 6 months, and he paid their mortgage for a year. You know, he's done all these kind of things that are really cool, so I'm anxious to see what this actually turns into, because I think it's gonna turn something really nice. I really do, okay?
Will we get an email like with a link and stuff to donate
Yeah.
once it, I assume?
Yeah, Janet's working on something, but ultimately it's gonna come from Suzanne and through the One Cares. So if you get any emails that says ONE capital letters Cares, that's the charity arm, okay, of Realty One Group. And just so you guys know, if you do charity work, you know, even to LVR, like Carrie does all the community outreach stuff, and we went down to the Mission, you can go into your zone account and click on One Cares, and you can put in all your hours and track it, if you wanna do that, and you should, because it's good for you and it's good for the company too. And they produce all these different graphics and flyers that shows, you know, that realtors just aren't greedy, you know, whatever that people think we are, that we do spend a lot of time and money, you know, helping out the community, okay? But the party will be fun, 5 to 9 on Friday. We'll probably have 20 basket giveaways or gift card giveaways or, you know, date night with Wendy or something, I don't know. We have all this, just kidding, yeah, you know, he's coming, right? He's coming, yes, okay. So, but it's always a lot of fun. We get a DJ, we're working on the photo booth thing. I don't know if we're gonna have a photo booth or a photographer or something, but the more you guys come, it'll be a lot of fun, okay? What else here, real quick, so as we move along. That's what the page will look like for the summit, okay? If you got the email with the link, you should have. You click on it, you bring it right down here, and you pay the $5.55. That's not until February, but we need you to sign up as soon as possible, okay? And again, we'll talk about this more as we get close to it, but I think we've talked about it a lot to begin with, okay? We don't know who the speakers are yet. We're always trying to find out. They won't tell us. Swear to God, it's like Fort Knox.
It gets the.
Yeah, and they're always good. It's not like it's gonna be, you know, Steve Hawks. No. You know, sorry, Steve, just kidding. You know, it's gonna be some really famous people. And, like last year, Shaquille O'Neal was the DJ at our after party. How cool was that, right? Yeah, how cool was that, right? So go figure. Anyway, so that's the summit. That's next Thursday, our ugly sweater, white elephant party. There'll be, you know, drinking at 10 a.m. in the morning and food and, yeah, that a girl, you know, lots and lots of fun. So please participate, okay? What else we have here? We're giving you guys a year notice, if you notice. We got this from LVR yesterday. Actually, Mark sent it to us, that we all have to take a mandatory ethics certificate class. I took mine. I don't even remember when I took it, but my name's not on the list. Go figure. But Suzanne has the list, and just about most of us were on that list.
But
So.
you could do it online and it's 2
Yeah.
hours.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is
So,
that if you just renew your license?
I don't think it matters. I think it's a totally separate, yeah, it's a totally separate certification, okay? And it's free, you don't have to pay for it, okay? But you have a year to do it, so please, next November. Hey, Tim, what's that email address?
And I have the
for that
answer
CE
to that
class?
for them to get that done.
That's right, we have to be the chair of the education department at LVR next year, so anything LVR related, you go to Shirley. Leave me alone. Shirley's got to figure it, okay? What else we have here? Next Tuesday, the Northwest Business Meeting is gonna be a broker panel. So the 4 of us are gonna go to Northwest. Remember we did it here a couple months ago, and David was I don't know, I think David's gonna be the moderator again, I assume, okay? So if you wanna come up and make fun of us, ask us questions, you know, all that kind of good stuff in the Northwest, you know. A lot of Northwest agents came here when we did ours, so it'd be nice if some of you went up there too to support Jeff and know what's going on, so that's always some fun. Charity's gonna start doing classes every Tuesday, moving into next year, and she's doing one on the 12th, just Mortgage 101, okay? I don't have all the particulars on it, probably primarily for the new agents, okay? But she's gonna do advanced classes too, you know, how to do a 2-1 buy down, you know, how to somewhat, maybe you can even pre-qualify your client. Not pre-qualify them, but know what questions to ask them. So asking those questions, you know that there's not a snowball's chance in hell they're getting a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So, but she's gonna talk about that, but it's probably gonna be the first or second Tuesday of every month, Suzanne? Sure. Yeah, exactly, yeah, so we're working on that with Charity here, you know? So, toy drive is up front. We have until next week to do that, so we're a little slow on the uptick on the toys, but do whatever you can, okay? We understand if you can't. All right, she's been quiet all week, Maria. Not a whole lot to talk about, but she actually has some good news. Do we all know what this is?
Yes.
Right? Seems like we're using that a lot now. I mean, I think, I don't know, we did like 50 rentals last month, or 60 rentals? It was
We
crazy.
did a lot of
Like
rentals.
3 or 4 days,
last night, yeah.
But tell them the good news about this.
Okay, so if you remember on the rentals, excuse me, you had to send this off and get the listing agent and the broker, the listing broker to sign these. And it's always been a real problem to get these to get signed. So now, the only thing that's required is for you to attempt it, just attempt it, but your side has to be completed and Tim has to sign it, and then you upload it into SkySlope, and then we're done. We don't have to do the 2 emails and all of that kind of stuff. But you should attempt to at least get it, so at least send it to them. If they sign it, that's great. If they don't, then you just upload it. But your signature and Tim's signature must be on it for it to be all cleared. Okay?
So no more tracking down the broker and 2 emails we needed in the
Yeah,
past?
we
That
needed
was
2
crazy.
emails and stuff.
Yeah,
They don't care.
We got rid of that, okay.
So we don't need any emails anymore?
Well, the honor system.
Well, I like
You
honor
sent it
system.
to Ricky at Remax, right, Chris? Right? Did you send it? There you go. That's good enough for me. Yeah. Because we need this in the system.
You don't have to, wait to get the 2. You just have to send it to them with your packet and the W-9, because you have to send them a W-9 in order for them to pay you. So send this with it, and that's your attempt. And if we get the check back and everything's fine, just make sure that that's uploaded and completed. Okay?
They should pay 1 month, not $200.
I know, cheap bastards.
That's right.
We
Yeah,
should
she
all
did
don't do
that.
rental anymore.
That's
Make
right. Boycott it. That a girl. Boycott it.
Too
Yeah.
cheap,
Yeah.
like
That's
$200.
cheap.
Are
There
you
you go.
kidding me?
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. That's
Come on.
commentary by Masako here, you know? But what I wanted to mention about this, I'm preaching to the choir, because I think all you guys are good at this. But as you're out there and you talk to other agents, you have to upload your paperwork into SkySlope within a day or 2 or 3 of getting whatever fully executed. Okay, we've had a handful this week. Hey, Tim, I closed my deal today. The check came in today. Can I get it tomorrow? Sure. Is everything good in SkySlope? Oh, I was supposed to put it in SkySlope? Swear to God. And these are experienced agents. Like where you been? So that check's gonna sit there until, till whenever it sits there, okay? And then the agent gets pissed off at maybe Amy or Suzanne because they didn't review the documents in 7 minutes from the time they uploaded them, when they should have been in there for weeks. And they could have been reviewed and reviewed throughout the whole month, but they want it done in 1 day. No, we're not. You gotta play by the rules here, guys, okay? Because the first audit we get, and you get a $500 or a $5,000 fine, trust me, you'll never not upload them again. And that's what we want to avoid as much as we can. So, everybody's cool with the SkySlope thing, right? We all understand that, right? Good, okay. All righty, gang, as usual, we can never do half this stuff without our good old friends here at Rock Title. So, Tim Sams, come on down, there he is.
Thanks, I'm key.
Oh, yeah.
As I took a big gulp of water. How's everyone today?
Great.
Great.
They're usually noisier when it's colder in here.
I should turn it down.
Yeah, I think it's
Too hot. Go sleep.
It's usually an iceberg up by the jack.
You're right, yeah.
So question for the group. Who shot video this week?
Uh-oh.
Show of hands. 1, 2,
That's
3,
really-
4.
We'll do it today.
We're gonna do
Four.
today.
You need
Open
to
Do it
house.
today.
Video or just video?
Promise.
Video. Well, I guess I should be more clear on that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Either.
All right. show of hands, who has a YouTube channel?
The uncle haven't.
All right. Now, who's posting to it? All right, so today I want to just chat a little bit about video marketing for real estate professionals, because all of you are real estate professionals, and all of you should be doing video, in my opinion.
Yes.
Video stats that you should know. Percentage of US adults have watched videos online has grown from 52% in 2008 to 82%. In 2022, 57% increase in the use of videos. Huge. Video content can help generate 1,200 or 1,200% more social shares than images and text combined. What do you think that is? Tonality? Creativity? 51% of home buyers used YouTube as their #1 search when searching for homes.
YouTube, huh?
51%. YouTube.
Can I be the guy that says, where the hell did we get these stats at? I mean, how
Yeah.
do you know that?
I just Googled it.
All right.
Actually, Justin did. This is his slide. I just snazzed it up a little bit. Who owns YouTube?
Google.
Google. All right. You know how much they paid for YouTube?
Zero. Free 99.
$4 billion. Yeah, they paid $1.65 million in 2006. I think the stats in here.
What a deal.
Wow, really, exactly. Did I talk about conversions, boosting conversions by 80 to 85%? This one still kind of trips me out a little bit. 50%. It's
Yeah,
like
that's-
half of the room getting up. And the remainder, I mean, it's just a mind-boggling number.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, quick question. So
Yes.
If 51% of people are going to YouTube,
Yep,
so I go to YouTube,
yep.
and any data on what I'm putting in the search box?
Yeah, you can just go in there and like homes in Las Vegas.
Homes in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas
Right.
homes, Henderson homes.
I got it.
And you'll see
Spatial
as Google
field.
does, it populates everybody that's searched, right?
So it's no different than like if you're doing Google, you're just doing it on YouTube?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. 73% of homeowners, 73% say they prefer a real estate agent that uses video. You gotta stand out, right? You're competing against not only each other to a certain extent, but you're competing against all the other real estate agents in Las Vegas.
And Tim, you have to be, in my opinion, in front of the camera, you have to be in it for it to be more engaging, as opposed to here's this house, we're
Yes.
talking, in my opinion.
I love it. Mix it up. Mix it up. One of my favorite tools, right here. Gimbal. And there's a ton of them out there on the market, but this is buttery smooth as I walk through a house or I'm shooting some content. I'm doing some B-roll right now, or reel, for me. That's why I have it. But this is like $100. And it's super easy to use. Love it. All right.
Can you get it from Amazon?
You can.
Where
Yeah.
do you get it?
I can, if you reach out to me via text, I can send you a couple links, but it's called Gimbal, Gimbal. 10% of home sellers reported that their agents effectively did not use to market their property. Recent home sellers reported that their agent effectively used video, effectively. So that's not a good number, that's a very low percentage, right? 10%. All right, the power of short form video. Listen, I got shiny object syndrome, as I'm sure some of you do as well. And it's really easy to get distracted, especially with all this coming our way in today's market. YouTube Shorts, 15 to 60 seconds. Right? You can do increments of 15 if you want. 60 seconds is great. I think you're going to lose anybody typically after that, because half the people are driving down to 215 scrolling when they shouldn't be while driving. Not cool. TikTok videos range from 15 seconds to up to 10 minutes long. Okay? Certainly a platform that you should be using as well. Instagram Reels range from 15 seconds to 90 seconds long. So the shorter the video, typically, more higher percentage that you're going to be able to grab their attention and hold their attention for a period of time. Bite size is always easy to digest, super shareable. Google purchased YouTube in 2006 for 1.65 billion.
Oh, it was billion.
Billion. From three guys, I think that's upstarted PayPal or left PayPal. YouTube Shorts receive 50 billion views daily. Get on the platform. Amy, you're on the platform, aren't you? I know you are. And for those of you that put your hands up, utilize it. It's great. It's a great exposure for you and your brand, both locally and macro. Over 2.7 billion people access YouTube once a month. And that's a huge number. 95% of mobile traffic captured by Google or YouTube. So what's the holdback? What are the obstacles if you're not using video?
Bad
Care
hair
to
day.
share? Bad hair day? Got them every day.
I don't know.
Not to use video.
Yeah. Why are we not using video?
Outdated. You're out of voice.
Don't like our voice. I agree.
I don't
Not that
like
I
the
agree
way
with you, but I have that same problem as well. I'm not sure if I like my voice when I record.
I don't like the way I'm so fat right now. I need to lose weight first.
Yes.
Don't looks good, you know?
I hear you. I hear you.
Post-production.
Just start to practice and do it, because I think a lot of people are more interested in the content than
What it looks like.
this or my voice. I got to a point when I was doing video, a lot of video, and sending that out. If I messed up a certain portion of it, I'm like, I gotta start over.
Maybe just
I
make
just let it
funny,
go.
huh?
I just let it go because that's me. That's how I talk sometimes. I get tongue twisted and tongue tied. But here's some great ideas. And these are what, 1, 2, 3, 6 ideas for you for video content. What does 1 million buy in Las Vegas? How to prepare to sell your home in Las Vegas. Biggest mistakes that sellers make in Las Vegas. Towards the end of this presentation, excuse me, I will have a QR code. You can text me and I'll send you 94 more.
Oh, wow.
There it is. So when you shoot this, when you got this QR code, it's going to bring you to my digital business card.
I already have you in my phone,
That's okay.
so I don't need anything
You
different,
just
right?
text me.
I can't
I'm
scan
gonna
that.
Text me the word 100.
That one's manual in your phone, this one's digital.
QR code, I can't get to work.
All right, I'm gonna-
Not working?
It's here.
Let's see.
Closer?
We should
God, I thought if I made it bigger, it would work.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't do any.
Doesn't work.
I gotta fix that.
It works.
Did it work?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. For those that's not working, 725-277-0982. Text me the word 100 and I will send you the list. But this is cool. I love the digital business card because once you scan it and get it to your phone, you can schedule to meet with me. You can text me, you can email me. There are rock reports and resources. So, median
I already
house
have you on my phone.
price, overall the zip codes.
Okay, just make sure it's right.
Rock net sheets. Go right out to do a net sheet. Our website, Rock University, training schedule, and then our data program.
Tim, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it an app that business card, digital business card, or is it Rock?
This one is called Win Local.
Win local?
Win, W-I-N, local is a word. There's a whole grip of them out there. I would just Google.
What am I gonna text you? You said 100?
Yeah, just text the word 100 to me. I'll get that text and I'll send you 94 more. I'll actually send you 100.
What am I supposed to do?
Text the word 100, and I will give you 100 video content ideas for you to work on for videos. And if you get stuck there, you know how to reach me. I'd love to sit down with you and talk about YouTube and video content. Questions? Suggestions?
I got a question.
Thanks.
I do have a question. I've had a YouTube video for like eons, way the hell before I was in Realtor.
The channel?
Yeah, and it's Webo 12.
Okay.
So I've had it, and I have uploaded videos. I guess my question is, That's Web 012, and it's been there. And over here, I'm SeanWebb.Homes, and over here, I'm Las Vegas Realtor, and how the hell do I tie it all together to make one damn thing? Instead of,
Exactly. Great. I hear you. I guess for
Justin Taylor's area.
I think
Okay.
I guess for starters,
Right.
is I have a link that I can send you that just kind of getting started on YouTube. That you can look at your profile, refresh your profile, kind of get things all in one place and up to speed. And then you have your platform to start putting content on. But super easy to use the YouTube app when doing shorts, really easy to use. So just do it. Don't worry about what you sound like, don't worry about what you look like. Make it raw, make it polished, mix it up, be personable, because people want to know who you are. Because people will do business with you when they know more about you.
I was get one deal from YouTube because I was dancing.
You, what?
I was dancing in my open house,
Yeah.
dancing. And somebody called a dancing wheelchair. I call myself a dancing wheelchair.
I'd be kicking up my heels if I got a deal dancing. I'd be dancing every day.
Yeah, let's do
Appreciate
it.
all of you.
Dance every day.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Good.
The 100 ideas that
Yes.
you presented, is that from some agent that you found that was successful using it? I mean, how do you know what's working, what's not working?
Great question. So, I think with any one of these content ideas, there's a thing called Chat GPT, if you don't know how to use that. I'm sure you've heard of
I read
it.
a book of it.
But you can also do research on Google Bard, which is kind of the sibling or brother or sister of ChatGPT. It's called Bard. And you can really just type in there, what are the most viewed videos for a real estate agent in Las Vegas or across the nation, just to get an idea of what it comes up with. And that will get, top 6. And then start there. And that's the easy way to build on that. Then you just say, ChatGPT, build me a script for X.
Just need to keep it all.
Change it up a little bit.
Do you have big calendar for that stuff?
One more time?
Big calendar for that stuff?
Desktop
Yes.
calendar.
Yes, I have one in my car, I think. If not, I will bring some more in. You have one?
Calendar.
Wendy has a handful in her office.
I don't have a calendar.
And those are like a hot commodity. You can find them on eBay, but they're really expensive. So appearing weekly, I'll be back.
Better food.
Thank you, Okay, we'll do 2 numbers then, okay. Hey, Sue, let's do the number, and actually there's another one too. So there's 2. Looks like Rock Title has
I
a.
need some free t-shirt.
Let's see what Rock, what
Thanks,
is it?
everybody.
Rock Title has a,
Oh, nice, nice. Do you have a head?
koozie, a little beer koozie.
A head.
We got 14 pens, 15 pens,
No,
and a couple of pads. Compliments of Tim Sands. Yay! So the winner is,
Like head.
okay? Number 11.
Danny? Danny?
Woo!
Free t-shirt.
And who won the our swag stuff that Amy put together?
Number 18, Anelia.
Hey, and just real quick, in January, we'll do it again, but Amy and Wendy put on a really good YouTube 101 class.
Nice.
Literally, Amy created, open up YouTube. Number 2, click on the search box. Number 3, type in your name, like step by step by step by step. I know. So we have the cheat sheet for it too. So we'll post that on the Facebook page if you want to get that, okay? Before we get into the lawsuit, I want, a few other people want to chat. Where's Nora? Well, you sit. All right, Nora, you want to say something real quick? And then go to Charity, give us the good news on mortgages.
I need the pen.
A pen.
Yes.
Pen.
Okay.
Oh, the marker.
That's
8, 4, 4, 9, 6, 8,
Whose phone number?
4220. Realtor only
Line.
concierge.
Oh.
How cool is that?
Your
So-
personal concierge.
Yes, so I have another layer of support for you. I know it's kind of quiet right now, but come July, you're gonna want this number. Okay, so this is a realtor-only number. This is specifically for you. Whatever you need, if it's your personal property, if it's a client property, if it's an order, if it's a claim, coverage question, anything you need, this number will be there. It's a US team. It's manned from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And again, it's just an added layer of support for me and for you, but you're gonna want this in July. I promise.
What is
So-
it, 968?
968? 968-4220. And I'm gonna see if you could post that. I have something, if you could post that in the group Facebook.
Yeah, I posted it on.
Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. So if you didn't get it last week, there you go. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you for everything.
All right, where's Charity? Anything new you want to share, Charity? Come on now. Come on. Come on.
Good morning, everybody.
Yay!
Okay, so first business, loan limits, I guess I'm really bad. Tim and my manager pointed it out. I need to post more on social media and bombard you guys with all these new updates. But new conventional limits on 766,550. So realistically, they can buy about an $806,000 house for 5% down. And
Is there an FHA limit yet, or is that the same?
huh?
Is that the FHA also, or just?
No, that's just conventional. FHA is going up, but I haven't, ours, it showed for other counties highs, but ours was already higher at 494 anyway, instead of 472, so I haven't seen the new Clark County limit yet for this year, but FHA is still at 494 at this time. You guys have all been seeing it, interest rates, I mean, we're pretty much almost in the last month down a full point of what we were. We were sitting about 8, and now the national average is 7.03. So interest rates are doing very well. There is a lot of, I've seen some agents posted about the Fed saying they're gonna lower rates 6 times next year. That is actually not true. So just an FYI, in case you or someone you know posted it. They said they're gonna go at slow and steady. That doesn't mean that rates are not gonna decrease next year. It's just he has not set his timetable yet at this point. So. And then on a side note, since this is our last meeting, I just want to say thank you guys. This was, I'm trying to get upset. This was really a hard year, I think professionally, and definitely for me personally, I lost, really close family members this year. But I will say that every time, and it's not easy some days to get up and come in here, but every day I do, you guys always bring smiles to my face. So I'm excited for this year to be over just because it's got to be better next year. So I know it's going to be a great year. I know we're going to, have a lot of fun. But, I just want to really say thank you because I don't get you guys all in this setting. And ignore the speech if you're in the Christmas party when I say it next Friday. No, no, but thank you guys so much. I'm here if you need me, right in the back. Let me know if you guys need anything. Any questions or anything? No?
I heard, I read somewhere there is a loan with 1% down payment with WAVE mortgage insurance. Is that true?
Well, there are people that have it, like Navy Federal, for example. I don't even know if it's 1% down. We're doing it at 0. They have a mock VA. We do not have. There's no conforming limit with 1%. But I think I've heard what you heard, but it's like through Guild or something. It's like something specific. And essentially what they're doing is it's the 3% first-time homebuyer product, and then they're like having somebody contribute, and they're doing it a little bit weird like that. So it's not an actual, so it looks like the buyer's coming in with 1%, they're getting seller concession, they're giving a concession. But I believe it's part of that 3% thing. Because I have not heard of anything on a conforming or FHA with 1% down yet. So. Any other questions? All right.
Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, and as I've been told by many of you in the last couple of months, that the meeting is going longer and longer and longer. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to get to most of the stuff in here. A lot of it is repetition as far as stats and contact information. So make sure you have a copy of this. All right, Miss Shirley, what do we got? What's the latest at LVR for us?
All right. So how many of you were able to take advantage this last Monday for a $30 certification course for At Home with Diversity?
Oh, man.
One person, it was $30 for a certification. So this coming Monday and Tuesday, it's our last designation course for SRES, Senior Real Estate Professional. You know what it is. Senior. It's for seniors. How many people work with seniors in this room? Okay. How many want to work with more seniors in this room? No. Okay.
I signed up.
It's like the course is $145. If you go to NAR and look at the cost of classes for that designation, it's over $200. So whenever you take a certification or designation course at LVR, you're gonna save some money. You're gonna save some money and you're gonna network with top agents. You know how many new agents that were in the certification course this last Monday? So for you senior agents, either you need to refresh, get back involved in getting these certifications, because why? We're competing our name with trying to prove our worth to people out there. And it's nice to have those acronyms behind your name. So this is the last designation course this Monday and Tuesday from 8 to 5 for $145. Tim mentioned the ethics course. If you log into the LVR website and you look under your membership, underneath your name, it's going to tell you whether or not you need that ethics course done. So how are you going to get your ethics course done easily? So for 2024, I'm your chair for education. What does the chair for education do? We're actually just we're supporting the education department. So it's a committee. All of you are invited to help monitor. What do you do when you monitor? Basically, our main job is just making sure people get clocked in and out. When you do monitor those classes, you can get CE. You're networking with other professionals. You're meeting all of the instructors. And that building, how many have not been to the LVR building? Okay, so that beautiful, which is, I'm so glad to hear. That beautiful building is your building. You pay for it with your dues. The more you become involved, the more you're going to learn. Just to see a full class here with full meeting with everyone, you get an energy when you participate. When you monitor or for 2024 in January, when you attend any of the committee meetings, so there's the education committee, the trends committee, the outreach committee, there's so many. If you go in the January meeting, you're automatically become a member of that committee. Pick one or two to go to, and then follow it through the year. It's going to enhance your professionalism and your participation, in the association. But, we're all professionals here. We want you to boost your professionalism. Yes, we get lots of free CE classes through Realty One Group. But when you monitor, you may hand select certain classes that you want to participate in and learn about. You don't want to go the last minute and do your core classes. It's like, I got to get it done this week. You're going to just input, you for 1 quarter, you only need to do 2 classes. So it's really simple. I do mine, usually the 5 to 8 classes, and I get 2 credits for that, for the whole quarter. So I really only need to do 1 in a quarter. I do more, but that's an example of what you can do. So I'm really looking forward to next year. My vice chair is Rochelle Ferralis, so she's heavily involved in YPN. Probably a lot of you know her, who's just like this little bit of sunshine. She's so much fun. So, when we come into the association, we're looking for, happy, bright, positive, optimistic people. And the more people we can get to join from Realty One Group or just participate in the, Tim, how many times did you monitor?
I did.
How many committees did you go to? How many committee meetings through your career?
Probably at the peak I was on 6 committees probably.
Okay, and look where he is today. So that's just, but it's just, plus, our affiliates attend, they help support is there. Like Tim is there as well, meeting agents. So it's part of, Realty One Group is your family. The association is your extended family. So you're all welcome. Come. Some of you have had bad experiences before. This last year has been a great change in attitude and people showing up and educating ourselves. 2024 is going to be better. Mary is our president-elect for 2024. So you're just gonna keep hearing more. And, you know, please ask, you know, come to me with any of your questions, get your education done, and hopefully I'll see you there. I'll keep asking you to assist in monitoring.
Is there any more at Home with Diversity, or is that the last one for the year?
That's the last one for so the senior real estate specialist is the last designation class for this year. They don't offer the designations multiple times throughout the year. So I'll be informing you as they come up through the year when they're available to you. And I guarantee you, if you compare it to the National Association prices, you're gonna save money doing it through the association. So.
I did the SRES, and it is the 2-day class, but it's the easiest designation that you can get. It's the only one that doesn't require any additional things for you to do. You don't have to submit any, you know, I worked with a senior or anything like that to get the designation like you do for some of the other designations. So it's just a really
yes,
easy
thank
one,
you
so
for sharing that.
it's really
So.
great. Yeah, it's very informative.
I got a question, it might be a little off what we're talking about, but after we get our 30 hours of post-manure first one, and now we're expected the next 2 years to get more
You're
education.
36.
You're 36?
36 credits.
So, out of curiosity, how the heck do you keep track of all that? Because I found a little tab at LVR, and
Right.
it says there's
So
nothing.
if you go to the Nevada Real Estate Division and look under your profile, you're
Right.
gonna see what you have credit for.
Right,
So you have to be
nothing.
careful, because just last week, someone did a class with one of the title companies, and the instructor was not licensed in Nevada. So they can get credit in another state for it, but you wanna make sure, you know, when you are doing CE, it's someone that actually, you're gonna get credit for a Nevada licensee, so.
So to finish out the question, I'll use an example, Lee Dryson's been here, and you're supposed to get a
Right.
credit.
Right.
And I've taken 2 of his classes that were supposed to be 2 different credits.
Right.
But yet they're nowhere to be found anywhere.
Look,
Okay,
look
you,
so look under,
that's what I'm asking.
look under the Nevada State Real Estate Division, under your license.
Right.
And you're gonna see what courses that you've gotten credit for.
Yeah, none.
But when you renew your license, you're gonna have to have those certificates to prove, you still have to turn it
I guess that's the
in.
question.
So-
we hold that
You-
certificate and you
so-
turn it in?
Right, you
God,
wanna
I
keep
should
a
do
copy
that.
of it. And so just reach out to Lee Drizzen, I'm
For
sure.
what it's worth, in my office, I have a folder that's probably 12 years old. It says CE on it. Every time I take a CE class, Lee gives me the cert, I put it in the folder.
Okay.
You know, or they go in there, and then when I have to renew, I just whip all those babies out, scan them over to the real estate. You know, so
That's right.
don't depend on the instructor giving you a copy or LVRs tracking it. No, it's all on you.
And it's really
You have to keep track.
easy for on your membership profile at LVR, the classes that you have taken. Underneath your name, you know, under education, you can click on the links of the class that you took. You have to make sure you do the evaluation form to be able to download the certificate. But they make it so easy, I mean, really, it's also easy. It's just it's just the participation we need. So 36 credit, you know, people worry, how am I gonna get 30? If you know, do monitoring, and then you'll have more credits than you need. Any more questions?
Excellent.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
And just so you know, Mark and I are working with Lee Barrett. We're trying to get him to do an ABR class here in January, February.
Nice.
For the ABR designation. That's gonna be the big one we're all gonna need or should have.
How much is it gonna be?
No idea. It'll be cheaper than going through NAR or LVR. Well, maybe it's probably the same price as LVR. We're gonna have them do it here,
What
hopefully.
is it, ABR?
So,
Associated Broker Representative, ABR, accredited buyer representative, sorry, accredited buyer representative, okay?
so some of the designation courses, not only do you take that designation course, but sometimes it's attached to a second designation or course for you to be able to take advantage of it. So pay attention when you are taking those designations, if something else is gonna coincide with that and when those classes are available too. So like the At Home with Diversity covered a plethora of other designations as plethora of other designations, requirements, so.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Thank you. Alrighty, gang, let's talk about the lawsuit. We all know that there was a lawsuit? Right, pretty much, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on so many Zoom calls and listening on YouTube stuff, and and Wendy also, this stuff is all over the place. So I'm gonna give you as much info that I have today, but it could change tomorrow, hypothetically, okay? But, there's 3 parts that we're gonna do today. The first part is the lawsuit, the second part is buyer conversation, and so, but we're not doing those today. Now, those are separate meetings. Those are like a whole meeting on what you should say to a seller, if they ask you that now. And we might talk about that a little bit, but anybody, let's say you want a listing appointment, or you're trying to get one, and on the phone they say, oh, what about this lawsuit? What would someone say? Anybody?
Still in the works.
Still in the works.
Let's move on.
Not a mistake.
Let's talk about it in person.
Let's talk about it in person. Okay, yeah, you have to have an answer. You can't be stuttering like Elmer Fudd here and sound like you don't know what you're talking about, okay? But those are different meetings for different days, okay? Today is just an update on the lawsuit, okay? So we lost $1.8 billion, okay? NAR, well, I'll show you who they all are. And now there's another lawsuit targeting Compass, Douglas Elliman, Redfin, and others. Okay, we'll cover about that in a second. But that was the settlement, $1.8 billion in commissions, okay? That's the jury verdict that the defendants have to pay.
And who gets the money?
Hypothetically. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, okay?
Charge more.
So here's just some other headlines that came out during this. You know, jury finds realtors liable for inflating commissions. Berkshire Hathaway to pay $5.35 billion. What else? Real estate industry rocks by $1.8 billion verdict. Realtors found liable for keeping commissions high. Zillow plunges after, I guess their stock plunged after that, okay? So none of these are good, right? These are all shitty headlines, okay? But I think what we have to keep in mind is that it's gonna go under appeal, or they can actually even settle. In January, they have to go back to court and decide, are you gonna pay it? Or can we negotiate and get it down? And then the judge will also give us his opinion on whether it's gonna be, we've heard the term treble damages. Do you guys know what that is?
3 times.
Yeah, it's a fancy word for 3 times, treble, T-R-E-B-L-E, like on our stereo, the treble. Yeah. So it could be 5.4 billion, but I don't think it's gonna go that high. Okay. But what's cool about this, not cool, but and this was some other stuff that was on social media, that on Yahoo Finance, you know, about the same thing. So none of it was good, right? I mean, we were on the bottom of the list of occupations again after this came out, okay? But I did this real quick this morning. So the verdict was for $1.8 billion, minus the legal fees. So the attorneys got $600 million.
Oh my God.
I'm guessing it's a third. It could be less, it could be more, but let's go with a third.
We are in the wrong business.
So there were 500,000
All
plaintiffs.
about the money.
There's 500,000 Missouri residents that got in the class action, and they're all gonna get $2,600.
Oh my God.
How insane is this?
And it goes back to what year?
From 2019, right, to now.
Just 19.
Right, okay. Hey.
Because it's antitrust, it's treble damages.
Well, they're determining that. It hasn't been decided yet. The judge could say no, you know.
So does that mean 2,600 times 3?
That would be the max. That would be the max each plaintiff would get.
18, 1.8, it'd be 5.4.
Right, so.
Right, but he broke it down per
Right,
person.
it would be $7,200.
Right.
You know, $7,800 they're gonna get for this, okay? But I can almost guarantee they won't treble it, because then they know, what if someone sued you and you owed them, you know, $100,000, and then it tripled to $300,000 and you don't have it? What are you gonna do?
File
Exactly. So that'll be the threat by everybody. Well, judge, you can do that shit, but we're filing bankruptcy, no one gets a penny.
Yeah.
So that's why it
better
probably
do
won't
this
go 3
week.
times, so, in my opinion. It could, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will, okay? But even if it does, I think these plaintiffs, I'm saying they were promised lots and lots of money, but I would think they thought they were getting lots and lots of money, right? But they're getting a couple of grand. So it's kind of, yeah, exactly. But again, this whole lawsuit was around that we colluded, that all 1.6 million of us sat in a room, got on a Zoom call, and said, we're charging 6%. Now, of course, that's not the case, you know? Most of the listings I'm signing now are not 6%. They're 5, they're 5.5, they're 4, okay? But that's what the lawsuit said, that we all colluded, and that's why, like Damon said, the Sherman Antitrust Act. That's what we were found guilty of doing, according to the jury. Do you know how many people were on the jury? Anybody know? How many people do you think are on a jury?
12.
Nah, it wasn't 12. It was 8. 8. Why, I have no idea, okay? But there's only 8, okay? So the judgment, 1.7,
One
okay?
woman and 7 males.
Huh?
There's 1 female and 7 males, I believe.
Yeah,
And
I
none
think
of
you're
them
right.
had ever bought a house.
Well, sit tight, I'm gonna get to that. Easy there, Karen. Take a breath, take a breath. Okay, that's the judge. So if you wanna Google Stephen Bow, he's the judge that, put the whammy on us, okay? Well, not him, the jury.
The judge.
Okay? NER Home Services, Keller Williams were found guilty, for colluding to inflate and maintain high commission rates. I mean, that's insane, right? It's just, I think even if we wanted to do it, we couldn't pull it off here, you know? There were 8 jurors, 2 of them owned a home and 6 of them were renters.
How did they select the jury? I just don't understand how the
You
jury
know, help me
selection
out
even
here, help me out here.
happens.
You know, and it took them an hour and a half to decide. You know, 2.5 hours, something like that. It was bing, bing, bing. They were in there. You know, judge went to lunch, said, Judge, get back here. It's over, the verdict is in. So, that's why, again, this is all speculation, who knows? I've watched videos where one very high-level person that we all know in the industry says NER will be out of business in 5 years. Another guy, who I respect just as much, says this is gonna blow by. This is not that big of a deal. It's gonna be some changes, but it's not like, it's as bad as we're all making it out to be. So we'll find out. Time will tell us what happens here, okay?
They'll settle before that happens, Tim. They'll settle before that happens.
Yeah, they'll negotiate a settlement, you know, probably before it ever, or they'll appeal it, okay? I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I think under appeal, I could see us winning. I mean, easy for me to say, right? I mean, but we're realtors, so we look at it kind of differently. These are the 7 companies that are owned by Anywhere. And just so you guys know anyway, you should know this, as you're in your normal real estate, that all these companies are owned by the same company, by Anywhere. Sotheby's, ERA, you know, you can see who they're all. So. And it doesn't, not that it affects what we do every day, but it's kind of good to know, okay? Also, this is what NER has a problem with. They lost the lawsuit, okay? It alleged all the different now the moral end of the lawsuit is coming up next. That's coming up in February, I think, okay? Then the FTC potentially has a lawsuit against NER. The DOJ has a lawsuit against NER, and it's all about this cooperation compensation rule, which I'll tell you about in a minute, okay? And then there's a fair housing lawsuit, okay? But the big one that it came out recently is the Gibson lawsuit. It's the same lawyer, Michael Ketchmark, that won it for the plaintiffs, the next day filed a lawsuit against NAR, Redfin, do I have who? Here, okay. NAR, Compass, EXP, Redfin, Weichert, United Realty, Howard, Hanna, and Douglas Elliman. Okay, he couldn't include the other guys because they were already in a lawsuit. So now they're going down the pecking order of who has money. You know, like Remax was the big one, Anywhere was the big one, Berkshire Hathaway, you know, now these guys are the next one with the deep pockets, okay? And the other lawsuit, like Wendy blurted out, in a good way, that was just Missouri. It doesn't affect us. That's what I might say if I'm talking to a seller. Shirley, I understand what you're saying, this lawsuit thing is crazy. But just so you know, it was in Missouri, doesn't affect Nevada. And, you know, and I'd rather love companies. Well, Coldwell Banker was involved, Remax was involved, you know, Berkshire Hathaway was involved, Realty One wasn't. You know, are things gonna change next year? Absolutely, but right now, we're treating it like everything is fine and just continue the conversation. That's kind of where I would go with it if I was talking to someone. But these are the next guys, and it's not just Missouri, it's the whole country. So this is potentially a $200 billion lawsuit, not 1.78.
It's good to be an attorney, huh?
Unbelievable. And it's funny, as I'm watching a lot of these videos and talking to people, a lot of them were down on the realtors, not the realtors, on the attorneys, meaning this is going to be coming to a billboard to you soon.
Glenn Lerner, right?
So who's behind all that? Warren Buffett?
Glenn Lerner, you know, or any lawyer, you know, could put up a billboard. Did you use a Las Vegas realtor from October of 2019 to December of 23? Question mark. If so, call me.
Does my errors and omissions and cover
Absolutely not.
this?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Absolutely not. Okay. But they're not suing realtors. How come they're not suing us?
Because you have the
We don't have any money.
They are.
They might sue Damon. I mean, Damon's loaded. You know?
Actually, Tim, I do beg to differ because one of the recent lawsuits does include teams.
Yep.
Well, yeah, teams, that's what I'm saying, right, yeah, teams, yeah, the big mega teams, right. But
Adam Solar.
will they eventually come after Ivan Shear? Sure, why not? If I'm a lawyer, you know, you know, we know who the top 10 are in town, you know? I mean, it's just gonna go down and down until until they get every penny they can out of us, okay? But again, for the record, Realty One is fine.
Fearless.
Are we gonna get sued? Probably. I mean, come on.
We spent more money on Shaq last year.
Exactly, come on, probably, but I don't think that would deter me from doing business here. But this was an Instagram post, I don't know, North Carolina, I think, or something like that, so you might be seeing these sometime soon, you know? We all see the mesothelioma commercials, you know, on TV. There you go, that could be your local, that could be Lee Dreisen. Hey, I'm Lee Dreisen. Did you know how to Realty?
Visit Camp Lejeune.
There you go, you know, so keep an eye on that, okay? That's the new president of NAR, Tracy Casper. I don't know her, seems like a nice lady, but she had some stuff that was kind of interesting. This matter is not close to being final. We will appeal the liability finding because we stand by the fact that NAR rules serve the best interest of the consumer, support market-driven principles, and advance business competition. And I agree with that, okay? I mean, I've only been doing this for 15 years, but I think before NAR instituted a lot of the rules, I think it was like the wild, wild west. You know, like it's like commercial now. If you have a commercial buyer, you don't know what your commission is. You have no clue. You have to call the listing agent, and he'll tell you, or she'll tell you. I think that's how this used to be many, many moons ago until NAR came involved in associations and things like that. So we just gotta be careful what we wish for. There's even local realtors that say, I get rid of MLS. We don't give a shit about NAR. I kinda go back and forth with that, but just be careful what you wish for, okay? I mean, think about it. You know, you go into MLS and the compensation is zero. That could be happening soon. The co-op could be zero starting January. Nothing from the buyer, from the listing agent. So how do you make money? What are you gonna have to do?
Take them to the next house.
No, this is important, this is important. This is really important. Stay with me, no, Masako, stay with me, this is really important. That's how you lose your license.
All right, well,
Just
that's
saying,
why.
I don't mean you, Webb, but
Well,
we all
sure,
think the same way.
probably.
We all wanna make money, right? But you're gonna, through the training that we're gonna give you guys, you're gonna negotiate that like a commercial agent does when you make the offer, okay? You're gonna put in a number, you're gonna ask the seller to pay for it, even though it says zero in MLS.
Or Tim, can they tie that into the lending part? Yeah,
We're
I've heard
hoping.
that, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And then also, are they going to take away multiple representation? I've heard that.
We'll talk about that a little bit too,
Okay.
maybe, yeah. I mean, the really cool thing would be you throw it into the loan, right? But again, then there's appraisal issue. What if it doesn't appraise? Like anything else here, okay? But just be careful when you hear these people, and you might agree, oh, shit, that's right, if I'm not in NAR, I save, you know, $800 a year. All right, you do, but then you're fighting for every commission. You literally,
Here's
you know?
a really, really good direction to go with this, I believe, is it's consumer facing. What you just said about not showing homes or not getting a commission and not showing a home, that's not gonna be the case. You're gonna sit down with your buyer and you're gonna say, here's 10 homes, buyer. Okay, these 9 properties pay a commission. Remember, you signed a buyer brokerage agreement with me. This property does not pay a commission. You're paying the commission. Which home do you wanna go see and write an offer on?
Oh, yeah.
The buyer, not you, the buyer is going to start dictating. If that's the case, they're gonna say, listen, I don't wanna pay 10 grand or 12 grand or whatever. One of these other properties is gonna be fine, let's go look at these and see if one of these works first. And that's the conversation you're gonna have with your seller. Seller, listen, apple to apple, where do you wanna fall, given the market conditions and everything else. Another key point is think about the 3 things that were settled that they have a pre-approval on right now on the settlement with the 2 larger, Remax and Anywhere. There's only really 3 key bullet points. They're not gonna say buyer services are free. They're going to remove anything in the contract that says a certain amount of commission has to come back to the brokerage, which a lot of the brokerages do that, right, your main ones. And the other one was that they can put 0 in the MLS as a co-op. Well, we've always been able to put $1 in the co-op, so that's not that significant. So as Tim's sharing all this information, you guys make sure you arm yourselves with the facts, because when you're sitting with a client, it's not that. So the number one thing brokerages are doing right now is simply disclosure that commissions are negotiable. The brokerage came out with another disclosure to add to the listing agreement, buyer brokerage agreement, that says in a big paragraph that commissions are negotiable. So that's the one thing they're making a change on right now. They're not waiting to see where the dust settles. They're making changes now, and hopefully that's where it stays, is that it's just simply a better disclosure, right, to the consumer that, hey, commissions are negotiable. That would be our best case scenario.
Excellent. Another comment by Home Services America was, today's decision means that buyers will face even more obstacles in an already challenging real estate market, and sellers will have a harder time realizing the value of their homes. It could also force home buyers to forego professional help during what is likely the most complex and consequential financial transaction they'll ever make in their lifetime. And it's true, that's true. I mean, I don't think buyer's agents are going away, but like Damon said, we just gotta show our value. Why should I use Wendy instead of Sean if I'm a buyer? And the seller, it used to be a lot harder. Sellers would actually make agents compete because the sellers are paying all the commission. But how many buyers shop around for a buyer's agent? You know, oh, he looks good on Zillow, let me call him or her. Or they get a name from someone and they just go with that buyer's agent. That's gonna all change. It really is. You're gonna have to really show your value to the buyer to secure them because you want them to sign a buyer-broker agreement. That might even be a mandatory thing that NER might do. That every file has to have a duties owed and a BBA before you move forward, okay? And even if they don't, that's something we might do at Realty One Group as a company, so keep your eyes open to that.
Tim Redfin just came out with an article that said that they're seeing more buyer demand or more seller demand and less buyer demand, so sellers that want to sell, they're getting more inquiries of sellers inquiring on selling their homes, so they're thinking the market's going to flip a little bit, and you're going to probably have more buyers into the market, or more sellers on the market and less buyers on the market, so all this stuff is cyclical, right? So when the seller needs a buyer, they're going to have, typically want to offer compensation to bring a ready, willing, able buyer, so that's another important fact.
Yeah, and as you do your own homework or you go on Zoom calls, you'll hear this clear cooperation rule. That's the rule that NER created years ago that says if you put it in MLS, you have to offer compensation to the buyer's agent. The lawsuit says we probably can't do that anymore. That we could put 0 in MLS. Like Damon said, now you can put $1. You can put $1. But now I think in January it's gonna be able to put 0, okay? There are some MLSs that are talking about taking that co-op field out altogether. So you don't know. Like a commercial deal. If you pull up a commercial deal, is Suzanne back there? Jody, tell her to turn the heat on.
Thank
Joe.
you.
See you guys, you're hot, you're cold, you can't get out. Unbelievable, but it might be a commercial agent. Commercial agents, when Joe Pessin calls a commercial agent, Webb, stay with us. When Joe Pessin has a buyer that wants to lease a building and he sees it in dot loop is like the MLS, he has no idea what the commission is.
Right.
He has to call up, Ricky or Remax and find out what it is. So we might be going to that. I don't want us to, but we might. Let's do the clear cooperation rule. Okay, so here's some other kind of cool stuff. According to the lawsuit, there was a conflict with representing buyers and sellers, like Carrie said, okay? How many of you like dual agency? Any of you not like it?
I like it.
Okay. I know agents that won't do it. They'll forego that potential big commission because they don't want to get involved in, they think it's not right.
You can still get a referral fee.
Right, they'll refer it out. I know others that will kill to double end every deal. Nothing wrong with that either. They're both legal, as long as you do it right and you're transparent, like Damon said before. Everything's gotta be out in the open, okay? You can't not tell people, okay? And the other thing was, again, supposedly all the brokers colluded when we came up with a 6% commission, which again, is foolish.
Well, Tim, it's a good thing I had mine at 4%.
That a girl, yeah.
You're welcome.
So again, the 8 jurors, no offense, but, their knowledge of our industry was probably piss poor. And I don't know about the attorneys for NAR, but I don't think they did a good job either.
No.
I mean, but it seems like a better job could have been done, okay? Now these are, this is kind of a cool thing. We talked about this, okay? Our money is called the commission, right? What are the attorney's fees called?
Retainer fee?
Retainer, contingency, right? What if we changed ours to contingency fee? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it sounds so much better.
I only get paid if you sell your house.
Exactly. But commission, the public thinks we all make, $500,000, okay? But attorneys use the word contingency, okay? And they typically get what, 33%, right, on a deal? Typically, maybe more, maybe less, okay? So their ordinary percentage is 30%. These next couple slides I found basically suggest that if these attorneys think we colluded, all 1.6 million of us. What about the attorneys?
Exactly.
I can make a case that they're colluding for forever, right? With their fees. So that's kind of, same thing here. This was in the New York City Bar about how contingencies work, okay? And how it's that way throughout the legal profession. To me, that's antitrust too. I'm no smart guy, I'm no attorney, but I don't know, that seems shitty to me compared to what they're saying we're doing, okay?
Talking about insurance fees.
Yeah, whatever, yeah, and again, it's prevalent in other agencies too, and here's just another thing from the bar about how contingency fees work. So I think that's a lawsuit potentially. It's an attorney who had the guts to sue his own profession.
Okay, question. So I see the 6% as being fair. As soon as you go to negotiable, then I feel like you could open that up to discrimination, because what if I'm negotiating 4% for this person and 5% and 6%, and then someone does a demographic and it just was a coincidence that this person fits into certain demographics, and now you're discriminating.
Well, again, our fees, as you all know, have always been negotiable. There's no set price. There's no standard commission, okay? I know realtors in the past would go on listing presentations and say, well, Mr. Seller, the standard commission in Las Vegas is 6%. They shouldn't say that.
They should say
You
typical.
should
Yeah.
send that.
They maybe not even say that too. Say, fees are all over the place, Mr. Jones. I've taken listings for 3.5%. I've taken listings for 7%. And that's the God honest truth. In my 15 years, I did one at 3.5, I did one at 7. Okay? But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I don't know how that could be tracked. But that potentially could be something, I guess. But again, in the 100 years we've been realtors, that hasn't focused on that we discriminate against, the female homeowner, not the guy.
Well, this has never been an issue
Yeah.
either before.
I agree. No,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Another
So
way to
no,
sue us in a
it's
couple
all-
years.
It's all,
Quick question.
Yeah.
Could you make me clear understanding? Is that okay? I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, if I will have a listing agreement next year, and my seller offer me for the 6% as normal we used to be because they want to sell property
Mhm.
very quickly or whatever the
Yep.
reason. So that's the case, I still cannot put the core percentage 3%, or how they work?
Of course you can.
I can do.
No one's gonna stop you doing
The
anything.
same as normal.
Again, nothing's really changing here.
Yeah,
okay?
just no.
The only thing might change is that you could put 0 for co-op.
So
Okay?
it's
Who
okay.
saw the commercial during the football game?
Equals 3, still faster.
We all know Steve Hawks. You ever see his commercials for 1% with Black and Cherry, and then Ashley, his wife, follows behind him? He had a commercial, list your house with me for 0 commission.
0 every night it runs.
0 commission.
Because the agent wants to sell by themselves. It's okay.
0 commission.
But what does he get paid?
Yeah.
Right.
How does he get paid?
Like a transaction.
Stay with me, Daddy. I don't wanna say what he's doing is a bait and switch, okay? But even the 1% thing that he's been doing for years, some agents could say that's a bait and switch. Because once you go in the house, and he has it down pretty good, explaining what 1% is, because they might be selling, they may be paying him 1%, what about the buyer side? So he has to talk about that, okay? So he's backtracking already, I thought it was 1% for the whole thing. Now it's at least 3 or 4, Steve. And then I'm sure he's experienced enough, like a lot of us are, could explain, well, you have choices, Mr. Seller, almost like a menu, A, B, and C. 1%, 2%, 3%, what do you want, okay? That's something that's very common in our industry, okay? But 0% commission, go figure, so who knows, maybe, and this is another thing I found, okay? Now, this isn't locally, this is up in upstate New York, but all these pizzas are kind of the same price. Are they colluding? Are they colluding? Is there gonna be a lawsuit against Rocco's and Pizza Hut and Domino's because all their prices are pretty much the same, right? No. So that's why people that are with NAR really think they have a good case in the appeal. That if the jury just applied some common sense to this, they would say that there is no collusion.
The second one looks better.
Yeah, it does look, that's my kind of case. Yeah, this is too much cheese for me. I'm not saying.
You shouldn't have tried to gone, you should have gone the top lawyers in the country to fight your case. It saves you a lot of money.
Yeah, hey, listen, NAR didn't, I must have missed that phone call from NAR when they asked me for it, Here's some other stuff, just again, some stuff about, we all know these places, all their prices are pretty much the same, give or take, right? Just like.
Everyone's colluding on iced tea now, that shit's $3.95
I'm
a
telling you,
glass.
that loaf of bread was $4.99, that's mixed, for a loaf of friggin' bread. Almost lost my mind, Steph.
When I worked in Germany in the credit card industry, and price colluding was not allowed. But all the industries talked with each
Right.
other, obviously has to
do it.
Yeah.
So it was always under the table,
Yeah, yeah. And here's a bunch of other industries that negotiate their fees, okay? Doctors, hospitals, recruiting agencies, auction houses, but usually the ones that don't is the lawyers. Not a lot of negotiation from those guys, let's be honest.
Companies in the mortgage industry in general, they call them perks instead of fees.
Yeah, exactly. We call it commission. We should get rid of the word commission. If I had my way, I'd get Kuba to change all the forms and put contingency fee instead of commission. I think that would go over a lot smoother as we're talking to people, instead of commissions. So, they say, we told homeowners our fees are not negotiable, which was a lie. And then we're guilty of this. A lot of us in the room used to say that the buyer's services are free or were free. I remember saying that when I first started, because that's how I was taught. Wendy, you're my buyer, the commission is paid by the seller, so my services to you are free. That went on for years, I would think,
Well, isn't there a lawsuit, a bunch of buyers suing?
Oh, yeah,
They're
sure.
paying the commission?
Sure,
So
that's
wouldn't
another
the
lawsuit.
two lawsuits cancel out
You would
at some
think, right?
point?
'Cause
Somebody
this-
will see the ridiculousness.
This is where common sense doesn't seem to
Yeah.
come into play here. What am I missing?
Our justice system doesn't have common sense.
That is true. It just says, they're blind, right? It's blind.
Very blind.
Everything's blind, yeah, right? Yeah. Here's just some of the slides. I'll post this and send it to everybody. Just some slides about how much realtors make. The average realtor makes $48,000, okay? We'll get the stats in February from Mary, but out of the 17,000 realtors in 2023 in LVR, how many will not sell a house?
Half.
For
Okay.
2023?
Yeah, I got half.
More than that.
I got more than that.
LVR or NAR?
LVR, locally. But it's the same nationwide. Usually it's 55% do not sell a house.
Yeah, I was gonna say 60.
They pay all their dues, but they don't make any money. Again, I don't get it. There's this other push to make the fees $8,000 a year. And we go from 1.6 million realtors to 150,000. And we have a really nice industry of people that work, that answer their phones, that are not parking cars on their full-time job when they're negotiating a $1 million contract. I don't think that'll ever happen because NAR likes having $1.6 million people paying fees and dues. And it's politically driven too, because NAR is a big political lobby. They pour a lot of money into different lobbying causes for us as homeowners and agents, okay? But we don't make a lot of money nationwide, okay? Another one, okay, depending, 49,000 according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? And these are some things where they say we're paid too much, okay? But if you go through these and look at them, we don't get paid for months if you're a brand new agent, right? Or the deal could take 4 months to close and then we get nothing, okay? And we're out, how much money? $500, maybe $1,000, depending upon the property, okay? These are the common sense things, I think, that were not brought up in the lawsuit, that a really sharp attorney, like maybe Alfred said, or really, a Johnny Cochran kind of guy, could have gotten a point across much better, okay? But these are all things that we do that maybe the 8 jurors, 2 homeowners and 6 renters had no clue, okay? They all think we make lots and lots of money, which is, And the reason our commissions are under fire is that how much is commissions in Germany? Do you know?
I think they're higher than here.
Here's Great Britain. Great Britain is 3.6%. There's no MLS, okay? The agent compensation are salaried and bonuses, so the agents are employees of RE/MAX or whoever, okay? Licensing requirements, there's none. So anyone could sell a house, okay? Agent cooperation, unlike there is none. So it's literally the wild, wild west in Great Britain to sell a house.
This is a
It's insanity. You gotta be kidding me, okay? Okay? And the marketing expenses, the seller pays in advance, typically thousands, okay? I don't think that would fly here. Mr. Seller, Tim, I need to check for $4,500 so I can get the ball rolling. My for sale sign, my drone, make that thing over Realty One Group. No, it's not gonna work, okay? Now in Australia, here we go, Australia. The commission structure and sharing practices are quite different in Australia, okay? Agents in Australia are less cooperative with each other. Also, 40% of the homes are sold as an auction or on the front stoop of the house. Help me out here. Marketing expenses, the seller pays, okay? And then I had to throw Germany in their stuff, sorry. Okay, so here's Germany, 3.5 to 7, no MLS, there's a stronger focus on the buyer, multiple agents can represent the seller.
Yes.
Let that sink in for a minute.
Yes.
Right?
And you have no MLS, but you have all these websites where all the buyers
Yeah.
can go and you see all the
Right,
properties.
so I'm the seller, and I hire 5 of you to sell my house. I don't care who sells it. Whoever gets me the most money wins.
There's no price discovery. I ask a builder, how do they get double the prices than what's right outside of their building? And they're like, looking at me like, what questions am I asking? Of course, they just wait for the buses with the British and Chinese buyers and they sell it to them.
And they buy it, right?
Those buyers don't know what's being sold outside.
They don't have a
so
clue.
There's no price
Yeah,
discovery.
there is, you know. Real estate is considered a more prestigious profession in the United States, while Germany is viewed as a highly, is not viewed the same way, okay? So if you think the general public thinks on a scale of 1 to 10, we're at the lower level, in other countries, I mean, agents are the scum of the earth. They're even worse.
In Germany, you can study it now at university to be a realtor.
Well, okay, that's a good thing, I think, that's a good thing. So a lot of the pressure we're getting to lower our commissions are from, because other countries are don't charge what we charge, okay? But you can see, they don't do what we do.
They don't.
No, it's literally the wild, wild west, okay? And the same thing with the marketing expenses, okay? So that's Great Britain again. Okay, changes that have happened. Damon brought this up already. So here's the word bright is the MLS in the Northwest part of the country. They're bigger than us, okay? They allow their agents to put in 0 co-op, where in the past you have to put at least $1. So that's bright MLS in the Northwest. That might be coming to us real soon too, okay? These are the things that Anywhere and RE/MAX agreed to do, because they settled. If you remember, they settled before it went to court, okay, for 55 and 85 million. Okay, but if you read these things, RE/MAX will prohibit company-owned brokerage and their affiliates for claiming the buyer's agent services are free. I think we've all been kind of doing that already, right? Well, we should be, okay? We'll prohibit company-owned brokerages to sort listings according to the co-op. In the past, in our MLS, up until 3 years ago, you could go into MLS and put in all the, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 300 to 400 Summerlin, 3.0 commission plus. So if it was at 2.5, it didn't come up on your list. Remember those days? All right, yeah, I'm just saying. When I worked at RE/MAX, the guy that taught me showed me how to do that. Like the first day.
Yeah.
Tim, you can make some extra money by just showing them the 3% houses. I didn't know any better. So,
But now the consumer has access to all the listings, so they're gonna be able to find it. You can't just bury that listing anymore and say, oh, didn't come up on the list.
yeah, exactly. And there's lawsuits for that, where buyers are saying, look, Sean didn't show me the homes at 1.5%, because he's a greedy realtor. I'm gonna sue him. Those lawsuits are probably coming too, if the buyer realized that, okay? And then the third one, Anywhere will not require company-owned brokerage or franchises to be a member of NAR. So what do you think if Realty One said, look, you don't have to be a member of NAR? What do you guys think about that? Honestly. Cooper says, look, I don't care, I love you guys, stay with us, but if you don't wanna pay your dues to LVR or NVR anyway, you don't have to.
But it's
Is there a
still
downside to that?
affiliated with MLS.
What's the downside if you do that?
You don't have the access to other.
You don't have MLS. You don't have a lockbox.
And why would somebody hire you if you don't have the
Exactly,
access?
exactly, okay? So I think number 3 could be a big one in certain parts of the country, but I would think every RE/MAX is part of MLS, right? Every Coldwell Banker is part of their local MLS.
You
So-
can't be a member of the MLS without being a member of NAR?
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know.
So that was part of the lawsuit thing too, almost like it's a cartel,
Real
that-
estate
that-
cartel.
Exactly, okay?
That's hilarious.
But keep in mind,
Why are we paying for a national MLS and we don't have access to it?
there is no national MLS.
It's an association.
But we're paying the fee, it's like $240.
That's for NAR, right,
NAR.
right, that's for
But
following
it's
the
for
code.
national and Nevada.
Just to be a part of it.
Well, there's
Like
3,
separate.
there's LVR, NVR, and NAR. You're paying like $200 a piece out of your fees to be a member of each association, okay? Now, you cannot pay it, and then you're gonna go out of business. You're gonna go out of business, you're gonna go out of business, and also, we have to disclose where we get paid, how we get paid, okay? What I'm getting at is what Anywhere and RE/MAX is doing, we all do anyway. It's not like they're, oh my God, this is great, what RE/MAX did and Coldwell Banker did. No, this is stuff that we're already doing, for the most part. So, but they were smart, they settled, and they paid a lot of money, but they didn't get caught with the big one here, And then again, you just have to be really good with your buyers and sellers. You can't hold back. You gotta be transparent. You really, really do, okay? Because, everything's on the internet, okay? If you say, you know, well, the buyer's commission is this, there's a good chance Zillow has the buyer's commission on their website, or Realtor.com does, or Redfin, okay? Because a lot of those commissions are on there now, okay? So you really, really no more, I like to call it traveling in the gray area. No more traveling in the gray area. Stay in your lane, you know, or else, you know, things could happen. So why is this important? Because what could happen is that sellers will just try to do a first sale by owner, okay? But typically,
Good luck.
exactly. They're gonna lose 15 or 20%. That's typically the difference nationwide from a FSBO to using a realtor, okay? Now, maybe it's more other places, less other places, but 18.25% is the difference for 2023 if they used if they sold it on their own, they lost that much money. That's, you know, that's a lot of money. It really, really is.
Both
Right?
lose, buyers and
Yeah,
sellers
Joe.
lose.
Going back to commissions are negotiable, that's understandable, when it comes to our broker's commission, like that fee we have to charge.
Transaction fee.
Transaction fee, even though it says broker's commission, right on it, that becomes questionable, right? Like you selling a house under 600,000, that's what, like
Right,
$600.
right.
Is that gonna be negotiable? I mean, I know not now, but I mean in the future, because if that's stated as a broker.
Well, I mean, that's a Realty One Kuba question, okay? But I could say, you know what, Joe, I think we'll get rid of that transaction fee, but Kuba's gonna institute a 5% franchise fee and a 5% office fee. You guys cool with that?
No.
No, of course not. No, you want 100% commission.
Go to Callaway.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Huntington Ellis. Go to you know, Berkshire Hathaway, where it's, you know, Berkshire Hathaway, the most you can make is 84% commission. That's the highest you can make at Berkshire Hathaway because of their set fees. Do agents at Berkshire Hathaway have a better deal than that? Probably a few do, because they've been there so long and they're big producers. But the average realtor, 90% of them at Berkshire Hathaway, 84% is it. You're giving them 16%. And I'm not saying that it's not worth it, but most realtors don't think it's worth it because they work at other places where they can make 100%, okay? Because you gotta remember, Joe, that's the only way Realty One pays the bills, is that transaction fee, okay? And you should be able to get that out of your client, if you're good, if you can explain your value or split it with them, okay? A lot of agents, oh, Tim, I don't wanna charge my client. Don't. We'll take it out of your commission. We don't mind, but that's silly, that you should be paying that fee, okay? It really, really is, okay? So that's the FSBO stuff. Okay, business as usual. So again, this talks about like Blockbuster, Toys R Us, all these ones that we all know very well, the BlackBerry, okay? And now we have these guys, you know, Amazon and Canon and the iPhone. And the point is, NAR is gonna change. They're a little antiquated, I think. They're gonna have to change and be a little bit more progressive. What that means, I don't know. I don't think they know yet. Okay, because of the lawsuit.
Have better lawyers, maybe?
And if you want change, you have to be involved. It's like easy to complain, sitting in your seat and critiquing what's going on with the association or with Realty One Group. You know, get involved and find out what the facts are, and you make the difference, because everyone's voice is heard. And if you're not participating, it's just like if you don't vote. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice.
That's right.
So it's like, I hate to hear people complain that aren't involved with anything. So step up, get involved, get educated, and participate, and you can help make a change.
2025 LVR President-elect.
No,
Adams, baby.
No.
But it's true. We all like to come in and bitch about shit, right? But don't bitch about something if you're not involved. It's as simple as that. No one wants to hear it, okay? We all have our own problems. You know, we don't want to share anyone else's problems. We don't have to, okay? All right, some questions that might come up. How long is this gonna go on? Are they gonna appeal it? Is NAR gonna change the co-op compensation rule? I think they will. Are there gonna be any immediate changes at NAR? I think there was. They got rid of the president. They have a new CEO. So I think they're cleaning house up at NAR, which is good. You know, I mean, get rid of everybody. Get them all out. Move on. Let's get some fresh blood in there, okay? Does NAR have the funds to pay the proposed damages or post the bond? They say they do. I don't know.
They should.
Probably gonna raise their fees
You would think, you know? I heard one sharp guy say, all right, what if the NAR cuts a deal for, I don't know, $1 billion instead of 1.7, okay? And it protects every realtor in the whole country, okay? and we all have to pay an extra $300 a month, $300 a year for the next 10 years.
I'd do it,
Would you do it?
yes.
I'd do it tomorrow. I'd write out a check for the whole year if I could, okay? If it's gonna protect me, I don't have to worry about this in the future, okay? So that's something that could happen too. What are the next steps legally? We have no clue. What about buyer representation? We'll talk more about that in future meetings with the BBA. Is there anything we should do differently? No, just go about your business. And like I said before, you know, Wendy, that was a Missouri case. It doesn't affect us. It did affect Remax. It did affect Coldwell Banker, in case you didn't notice. You know, Berkshire Hathaway, they got sued too. Keller Williams, holy shit. They really got sued, you know? Not us, not us. And then continue your conversation. Not all of that. You're not talking negative about another realtor that could get you in trouble. You're just pointing out the facts. So
Sam, you jumped ship on time.
there you go, right? There you go. All right, gang, that's all I got for you. Questions, last minute stuff, anybody, anything on their minds? No, no, sorry it went so late, okay? Just, it's a moving target, so we'll be doing more of these, okay? Thank you for coming. Come to the party, week from Friday, sign up.
Party?
Sign
And
up.
everybody, there is a class right after,
Yes.
Maria's gonna help us put